one step closer to World War III. The United States is going to be sending 30 Abrams tanks along with the NATO countries, especially led by Germany, which is going to be sending a total of 80 Leopard tanks. Now, the Leopard tanks are distributed all across, all over western part of Europe. So this is it's a sum total of 80. Germany itself is going to send 14 tanks. This opens up a new theater for Ukraine to try and counter Russia. One can look at it in two ways. One is that Ukraine is beginning to match tank for tank with Russia and try to drive them out of the southern and eastern parts. Or you could say that Russia is planning in advance come spring, and Ukraine is just digging in to prevent Russia from gaining more ground. So either way, we don't know exactly what is happening. What we do know is that Germany itself has sent 14 tanks, and the remaining 66 are coming from allied countries who all have actually purchased this tank. So 80 plus 31, 121 tanks Ukraine will have to defend itself. I don't think Ukraine had their own tanks. This is the actual picture on the ground. But what happened? The United States was reluctant to send the Abrams, but Germany and the other NATO countries dug in and said, we will send our tanks only if the United States also sends tanks. It's a message of either we hang unitedly or hang separately. So now Russia will have to not only counter the Western European nations and the NATO members, but also the United States should it start to retaliate. So we don't know what is going to happen there. Remember, from the 1st of February, oil sanctions are going to take place. Russia will not be sending any oil to the NATO countries and also United States and Australia. You know that one of the Nord Stream 2 pipelines, or perhaps both, were blasted. So essentially, they have to be repaired before they can even be commissioned. So the Western Europe now is moving further and further away from its dependence on Russia for natural gas and oil. Is that a good thing or not? We don't know, because that market that Russia loses, it will have to make it up somewhere else. Is it going to be India? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, something else happened. India has been allowing Russian ships to dock, and the Russian ships are like multi-point, multi-docking. They'll come to India, they'll go to Bangladesh, they'll go to other countries, and so on and so forth. One such ship got stopped from docking in India, and so did Bangladesh. Bangladesh also did not allow docking. The reason is believed that the US Undersecretary Donald Lu, it's either Donald Lu or David Lu, I don't remember exactly. The last name is Liu. Of that, I'm sure. He's a Southern Californian. He visited India and also Bangladesh, and I think he said that this ship, essentially, even though it has changed its name, its origins are a ship that has been blacklisted by United States, and therefore India needs to comply and not allow it to dock. The interesting thing here is that it is believed that the Russian ship was carrying nuclear fuel supplies to Bangladesh, which is trying to put up its own nuclear power plant. That's what I think is happening. I've given you a couple of links. You can dig in a little bit deeper, because those links might lead to more links. You might be able to get the exact details. But understand one thing, guys. Any country that wants to have nuclear capability will first start by saying that we are going to build nuclear power plants. You build the nuclear power plants, for which you need uranium, enriched uranium, and then after that, as a byproduct of that, slowly and steadily the uranium gets siphoned away from there into a project where perhaps this country also is planning on building an atom bomb. I don't know this for a fact, but you can do the research and you can determine if there is any truth in that or not. The interesting thing at this point of time is, what does India do? If Russia becomes more belligerent with NATO, what is India's role? Will India stop buying oil from Russia to pressure them so that economically they are completely doomed? I don't know if India is going to take that step, because right now India has been enjoying a lower price for its fuel. for its crude, and it also is reprocessing it and refining the crude and selling it to many countries. Some companies, Adani's and Ambani's, and a few others who are having refinery operations, they are making money hand over fist. Of course, there will be a benign influence of the government, and I'm not even going to look at whether there is going to be the same under invoicing, over invoicing rule. Well, if no mouse even gets jailed, what is the incentive for someone to stop doing that? They'll continue to do that. Anyway, that's a matter for a different day. We need to have proof. What is interesting here is India has been, getting a bonanza in terms of the purchasing price, and then it has not passed on the benefits of that to its populace. So where is the money going? We don't know. I think the money is going to build infrastructure as India prepares for a war, possible war against China. So you see now both things, World War III, perhaps something of that kind, Russia and others, and China versus India and or Taiwan, and perhaps some other, even Japan. I don't rule that out. So all these things are now in play. We're going to be discussing all these things on almost a daily basis and daily global insights, which will be resuming next Monday. We do hope that you will support us. We have a deficit. We are getting about 8,000 views for our DGI episodes. We would like to see that go up to 25,000. So we have to triple our viewership. Why is that? Because there's a lot of cost attached to doing the research. We always check our stories in more than one ways to make sure that we are as factual as possible, and only then share it with our audience. So please help us out. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Please pass on the word to your friends and family. If they are not watching, ask them to watch these programs, as well as click on the bell button for notifications. Thank you very much. Namaskar.